Kayla knew she was in trouble the moment her foot touched the ground. Fuck! The bell tolled as the masquerade party reached its crescendo. Hill, Forrester. My head and body feel like they've drained themselves of all fluids, function, and life. A roll of the dice, the flip of a coin, the flicker of a random thought. It is possible to be blinded by the light of another human being. My dad is always prepared. Help me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Kayla got down on her hands and knees, eyeing the space between the floor and a collapsed ancient wall in Sector 12. Kayla shimmied across a beam spanning the length of the storage room ceiling, pausing about halfway to peer over the side. She had thought the so-called Palais Garnier would be more beautiful. Ariana ran toward the priority elevators and plugged in her earpiece. Magic mushrooms saved Sean Slattery's life. I stood in the primary bathroom of our multi-million-dollar penthouse, holding the white stick in my hand that I'd held every month for the last year and a half. The mirror is a preposterous spaceship. The air pressure shifted in the darkened room, indicating the door had been opened. Valentina crept out of bed, timing her movements to coincide with Sergei's deep and regular breathing. Sasha Amos was about to find out whether he'd made the best decision of his life or his biggest mistake. My palms are sweaty. As I stare at the cupcakes and cookies in my case, I wonder if this is it. I made a big mistake. Huge. The wind tickled her face. The leaves and branches scraped her muzzle. The sense of the woods filled her snout. We're going to be late. Let's start by accepting and highlighting 3 basic, concrete, and absolutely undeniable premises. The priest squeaked, clutching the silver cross to his chest with shaking hands. My heart is pounding as I hurry Aurora out of the church, her intrusively large wedding skirts catching on every damn thing we pass. Lux couldn't remember how many times in the last 6 months her aunt jokingly said, "It shouldn't be this expensive to die." I leave the cafe with the bitter taste of disappointment sharper on my tongue than the increasingly bad coffees I was served today. There was a faint metallic clink, almost like a pin drop, and then the man on the screen mumbled a curse. Jet walked through the maze of wood beams and made notations on her digital pad. The living room buzzed with the voices of her pack. Claire opened the weekend bag and stashed her day pack inside, hoping to minimize the number of things she'd have to keep up with on the train. The words played on a loop in my head as I forced my eyes open. If you're reading this, you may know firsthand how hard it can be to find help when you're struggling with your mental health. After swallowing hard, I lifted the gun to Soren's head. It always starts out fun. They said it was all in my head, that demons weren't real. The first thing Cleo stole when she arrived in Detroit was a pair of sunglasses. Her signature red lipstick was smeared up the side of her face, and her head was tilted as if she'd been thrown forward, her chin resting on her chest. 4 forces: thrust and lift, drag and gravity. The chaos in the kitchen was as insane as the emergency room. Shoving the key deep into my pocket, I reach for the front door handle, gently turn it, and tug it open. Lux could hear Alistair as he stood outside Magnus's cabin bellowing at those who remained inside. "I triple dog dare you." I slide the gilded mask onto my face and fasten it behind my ears. Maisie sat at her desk looking over her notes. How did a man get a doctor to Tanana, Alaska 3 times a year? She always chose dignity over bliss. It was much safer because her heart wouldn't break. "Someone please kill me. Chaos erupts in the kitchen." His lips trail a hot, torturous line down my throat. The wrought iron arbor, covered in flowers and magical symbols meaning peace, love, and longevity, attracted the seagulls. I had all my necessary defenses in place. Leaning back against the edge of the tub, I rest my neck and close my eyes. Sleep during travel isn't really sleep, is it? So handsome. And such a good boy. Pain swarms behind my eyes, needling at me like wasps, blurring my vision. "So, they took you back." A rough, scratchy voice whispers into my ear the words I've been fearing for almost a week. Vivian Locke stared at the perfect 4-layer chocolate cake she had spent all morning working on. Uh-oh. Lacey Donovan jogged up the steps to her tiny 1-bedroom, 1-bath bungalow, careful to avoid the rotting side that led up to her door. Quinn's hands trembled, working at the collar around her neck. I didn't recognize myself. Life for a demon is a dream. Growing up in the Bible Belt of East Texas, my oddness stood out. Nothing stirs the blood quite like watching a witch hang. 3 hours haggling with humans has whittled my patience to a sharp point. I'm up early, drinking my coffee on the front porch of a large 2-story brick home.